Glenn Parker, High Vibration Foundation. Thank you for joining me. Today I wanted to talk specifically about Rife technology. Was it Dr. Royal Raymond Rife? And in the 50s, there's actually, if you go online and go under Google and type Royal Raymond Rife and go under images, you will find a newspaper that says the end of all disease. And it's from a cancer study that was done, well documented by multiple doctors in San Francisco, I think it was, in California, and I think it was 50s, 54, 55, and it was released in the local newspaper, and that's the last you heard of it. And it actually talks about that they use light and sound technology to, in some patients that were considered terminal by these doctors, and they went in, and within, some of them within a month, got up and walked out, all cancer gone. I think the longest one was 3 months, and then finally everything had remissed and was gone. And basically it's using what's called mortal oscillatory rates, and it's an inverse to the cell itself. So it's an inverse frequency. It's the same idea as having a glass and having someone sing at a particular pitch, which is an inverse pitch of that glass, and it vibrating and breaking. And what it's doing is vibrating and exploding cancer cells, or Ebola, or whatever you want. It's cold and flu, things of that nature. Now, I stood in front of one of these things. I had one, and I had lived with a naturopath for 1.5 years. And as I stayed with him, when I was really sick, he had one of these that was gifted to him, and it was in the house, and it was gifted, and I forgot who it was gifted by, but I would set this thing on for like 45 minutes, an hour and a half, and I programmed different programs in it, and it was the one that was from Lynn, and he's been making these for years, and they really have it defined and refined. And I had spoken to him about, why does this do this, and I had gotten into the program and looked to see how it worked, because I had done programming in the past, and I had made a custom one for myself. And let me tell you, it made a big difference in reducing, viral count for cold and flu, and for all these different types of things. And I always felt better. And this isn't medical advice. This is just an account of personal experience. So in no way this should be considered medical advice. With that said, as far as pain levels for a lot of people, pain management, and if you have, let's say, issues with yeast and all of these types of things, these can be managed, and cancer can be managed through these types of devices. And it's basically an energy technology. It's light and sound, and it goes in, and whatever doesn't belong there, that energy pitch is attuned to, and you basically choose through a program set, like yeast control, for instance, or cancer of a particular type, or if you have elephantitis, or if you have herpes, let's say a certain type of herpes, herpes A, herpes B, you can go in and it will at least reduce viral count. And, even if you have a sick animal, one that has arthritis, and you have arthritis, I've had people use these things and say, well, Fluffy's up and running around now because whatever that did was reducing inflammation and pain levels for whatever reason. And it has been used and experimented with around the world. So if you haven't checked that out, there's a couple videos there's a whole bunch of videos on YouTube. There's a couple of videos that's from Lynn that were released. There's two. There's one from 2003, and there's one, or 2001, there's one from 2005. And it explains his journey and why he revamped the technology. He went to Royal Raymond's estate. He bought all of his 35mm film. He bought all of the research notes and papers. He paid people who were old technicians from World War II, old tech type of technicians, because Royal Raymond Rife didn't have computers. They used the old tube technology, so they reverse engineered all this, and then they tweaked it and amped it up a little bit to get the rise and falls, so that the vibration would go up higher for the mortal oscillatory rate. So if you've never seen these technologies, please go and check them out, because if you have someone that's sick in your family, if you have something that's chronic on you that you want to tend to, it can also be used for manifestation. There are frequencies like the 35 hertz and the 40 hertz that are precognition and cognition frequencies that are meditative states. I've wrote some custom programs that went from the 20 hertz and did a step up so that you could do like a 30-minute meditation. So there's tons of practical application for these things. The price tag, it was, I think they were like $5,000, and some of the higher end ones were like $7,000 for the dual tube or something like that to get a higher rise and fall effect. So, they are an investment, and it depends on what you would use them for, whether that would be an investment that you would need to do, or if you already have no issues with manifesting those types of things, at least it's something that you would be knowledgeable and aware of. So, Rife Technology, wonderful stuff. Again, this is Glenn Parker, High Vibration Foundation. Thank you very much for joining me. If you have any questions, please message me. More than happy to talk talk your ear off if you want. If you want to have an hour conversation, I do spiritual coaching, life coaching, and do business coaching as well. If you want an account of the time that I use the Rife technology, if you have someone in your family that's sick, I can point you a couple different places, a couple different people to talk to as well, just to have some different options in your life. Do your medical treatment and try these other things out and see what works for you. That's what I always say. So again, none of that is medical advice. It's just an account of information that I know, and it's an account of personal history. I've actually used the Rife technology. I used it for like at least a year and a half on a daily basis. At least every day I was, had the ability to have access to it. And even before then, I had used it for like a week at a time. I went on vacation to California, and I was staying at this naturopath's house when he went on vacation, and would help service his clients and stuff, give him vitamins or whatever they were coming by to pick up. So thank you very much for watching. Love and light, and have a fantastic day.